Hello, hello, hello. Lori here from Unique in the Creek. Say hey when you come in. I am trying to stream on different avenues. I don't know if they're working. Am I live? No, I'm not sure. I think I'm live there. I think I'm live on Instagram. I think I'm live on YouTube. And I think I'm live on Facebook. So say hey from where you're watching. I'm trying different things. Let's see. Are we? Oh, there we are on Facebook. Yay. Okay. What about YouTube? Let's go check YouTube. Hello, hello everybody. Just seeing. I'm going way outside my comfort zone with technology. So if you guys do follow me, you know I'm not the greatest at technology. And I'm just trying something different. Oh, and there I am live on YouTube. What? Can somebody check if I'm live on Instagram? Oh, I guess I'm using my phone. Anyways, hello, hello from wherever you're watching me from. Welcome. We got Facebook, we got YouTube. I don't see anybody from Instagram. I can see everybody's comments from both platforms of Facebook and Instagram or YouTube. Nothing from Instagram. Can somebody go over to Instagram and see if I'm live? I would much appreciate it. It does say I am. Enable comments. I know. Hello, hello. Okay, so today I'm just going to do, like I said, I've been fooling around with the different, trying to stream on like TikTok and all that stuff. So I'm just going to do a quick live. Hello, hello. Thanks for popping on. I am going to do what we call a Star Trek petal. Oh, I am live on Instagram. Yay! I did it. I did it. Tanya's going to be so proud of me. Okay, so I am using the small board. And with the small board, I guess you guys don't need to see my face right now. So I will see you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You don't do Instagram? Neither do I. But I've been asked a few times to live stream on there. Not by anybody of you, but by my Tina Kelly and Tanya and my social media team, Mandy and all them. So yay. Okay, so I am using the small board. And what I'm doing is I am preloading row 2 and 3. Okay, so this is the small board. And if I flip it over on row 2 on the small board, I am using the 2 holes. Am I on Instagram? Yeah. Can you comment on Instagram?
I see comments going.
Oh, really? See, I don't see them here. I will zoom in. Okay, so on the small board, this is row 1, and you will see there is numbers on the boards. Where am I? Right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. I'm using row 2. We're not going to do anything with row 1. And I'm using, normally we use these 2 holes that are close together. Those are our normal holes that we normally use. But for this design, I'm not using those 2 holes close together. I'm using the 2 holes that are a little bit further apart. Okay, so you'll see a space, and that's the normal holes, and then 2 zip ties, space, which is the normal holes, 2 zip ties, space, and then we're going to go down and back up, and then even though I just put a zip tie into this hole. We're still going to use that hole. We call it shared holes. I'm going to go down and back up right here. So when I flip this over, it looks like stitching on the back, right? So we got 2 space, 2 space, 2 space, 2 space, all the way around row 2. Alrighty? And row 3, we're going to use all the holes. So I'm going down and back up the normal hole, okay, even though there's a zip tie in here, and do it up. Just do it up until you hear a clicking, okay? And it will lock. Hello, everybody on YouTube and Facebook. I'm not sure why I can't see Instagram comments. I'm really sorry, but at least I am live streaming there. Okay, and you're just going to go around the whole row 3. And when you flip it over, when you're all loaded, it looks like complete stitching all the way around. So row 2 has a little space. So we've got 2 space, 2 space, 2 space. All right, so, but we're still going to have 16 petals on row 2. And row 3, we have 16, and we're going to go all the way around. Okay, this is, again, the small board. Now, I'm using the small board because I am going to use poly burlap today. And I don't use poly burlap a ton, but for this particular petal, which is called the Star Trek petal, and you'll see why it's called the Star Trek petal in a second, poly burlap and fabric mesh are the best mesh to use with a Star Trek petal, okay? So poly burlap, which this is what poly burlap looks like, okay? It's all plastic. It's got like a weave through it. The only thing with poly burlap, no matter even if we're doing a Star Trek petal and we're not even going to see the edges, it frays like nobody's business. So I did wood burn my pieces, and that's why my glass cutting mat is out. I wood burned my pieces 10 inches, and it's a 10-inch wide roll, okay? So instead of cutting it with a rotary cutter, you cut it on a cutting mat, glass cutting mat with a wood burner. And there is, yes, you can wood burn fabric mesh. Now, if you're going to do this petal with fabric mesh, you don't have to wood burn it, okay? Just the poly burlap, because the poly burlap just frays and frays. There's just so much space on this, and it's just all plastic, that if you don't wood burn it, which seals the edges, it just continues having strings all over, and you'll cuss, I promise. But for this petal, poly burlap is soft, it's pliable, and it works really, really well. And you don't, for this actual flower, you don't need a full roll. So poly burlap is a little bit pricey, pricier than like a horizontal wide stripe or a fabric mesh. So I try to use it sparingly. So this flower is perfect for it. And it's perfect for the actual petal. All right, so I have done some of the Star Trek petals with some horizontal wide stripe mesh, which is very similar to a poly burlap, but it's a lot stiffer, and it's not as pliable as poly burlap. Like, it's not soft and flowy like poly burlap, but it is possible to do this petal. I figured, since I was just streaming all over the place, that I would use the poly burlap. So this is the yellow poly burlap, which you can buy on Unique in the Creek, okay? And the yellow, the code for it is RP810029, okay? Like I said, once you get used to doing this petal, you can venture out and try different meshes, okay? Like a Decomesh, a horizontal wide stripe. But for this one, I'm going to stick with the poly burlap. And I'm also going to use this really cute sign for the center. Now you can use pre-fabricated sign centers. I gotta grab one second. Where is one? Oops, sorry. Okay, so this is an 8-inch sign. An 8-inch sign that I'm going to put in the center with this. We have a ton of 8-inch signs, and we are coming up with more 8-inch signs. They should be listed probably by the end of the week. Okay, it's a very simple sign. It's going to go really nice with the yellow poly burlap. But you can take any sign and match it for this project. You can also use prefabricated centers. So if you want it to look like a real flower, you can put the center. We sell these as well, the faux flower centers. So it really looks like a sunflower. Okay. We have it in yellow. We have it in pink. We have it in all different colors, these prefabricated centers. And they're just foam, but they do look like a real flower center. And then you can also, if you want to really spruce up your flower that we're going to do, you can use bling rope. And I've shown a few times how to make these centers with the rhinestone. This is actual rhinestones on a PVC tubing. So this is really, really pretty. We'll try the 3 different ones, but you can pretty much use anything, okay? For this petal. So the petal itself, like I said, I did wood burn 10 by 10 inch pieces. And I like to use, when I'm doing this petal, we have to do like a sliding technique. So I happen to like doing this petal on my glass cutting mat. Now you can do it just on your table or your normal cutting mat, but you'll see why I like to use the glass cutting mat. And these you can get on Amazon. I do have it on Lori's Favorite Tools. This cutting mat is awesome. It's the glass for wood burning. It has all the numbers already on it. I just put a white envelope underneath so I can see it better when I'm wood burning. And then I just put most mesh that I'm going to wood burn are either 10 or 10.5 inches. So I kind of mark, so I don't even have to look at the numbers. I know the orange is 10.5 and my black lines are 10. So if you're going to do a bunch of flowers, this is good to, did I just lose connection? Hold on. It says I lost connection. Sorry guys, this is all new to me, so I'm trying different things. Come on, Laura. Laura gets mad at herself. There we go. Let me see if I can Ethernet this thing. I forgot to connect the Ethernet up. Okay, I am still on. Somewhere in here it said I was lost connection. I'm just going to put my Ethernet on anyways. Okay, let's stop talking. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your piece of mesh, whether it be 10.5 or 10 inches, curl up in front of you, which means it rocks back and forth. I'm going to put mine in a diamond shape, okay? I always have my, when I'm making petals, I always have my factory or finished edge at the top left and bottom right. That way it doesn't matter what kind of petal I'm making, it always comes out the same, okay? You're going to take the top of your mesh, bring it down to the bottom corner, and line up your edges. Now this is where poly burlap is really nice because it folds nice, it's soft on your hands, all that stuff, okay? So you have a triangle. Now you're going to take, I'm right-handed, so if you ever watch me, my tattoo's always my right hand. you're going to take this right corner and just fold it over and match it up with this left corner here. And this is what you have. And this is why I think we called it the Star Trek petal. Okay? Because it does look like the Star Trek emblem. So why not call it the Star Trek petal? Okay, so once you have your Star Trek petal, just hold the point up at the top here. And this is why I like to use the glass, because I'm going to slide these two corners together like that. So hold your point, slide the corners so that both are the same length down here. Then you're going to take this middle that's puffing out. You're going to push it down. Okay, so it's going down in the middle. And then you're going to bring these two edges in together, and it makes like a little gap here. All right, and then bring the sides in. Okay, I'll do that a few times. And then we're going to leave about a 2-inch tail. So I have pre-made a bunch of these, so you guys are not going to be sitting right here forever watching me. Okay, so that is what is called a Star Trek petal. Now you can use it this way, where it's got like a divot in, or you can use it like a scoop. Whatever way you do it the same all the way around, so it stays like uniform looking. So this will give you more of a 3D looking flower because the petals are going up, and this one is more, you know, a basic petal. So let's do it again. So curl up, remember, rocking back and forth, turn it into a diamond shape, make sure that factory edge. Now for this particular flower, it doesn't matter, but I like to train you guys or teach you guys the proper way so you don't get any bad habits. Then you take the top corner, bring it down to the bottom corner. You're making yourself a triangle, just like that. You're going to take your right corner, flip it over to match, lined up with the left corner, and there we got our Star Trek symbol, right? Hold the top corner right here, and we're just going to slide the bottom two corners together. So this is what we have. Okay, you're going to push that center down, and where it, I like to grab or push together where it's meeting right here. So when you bring these together and you push this down, you'll see where it's starting to go down right here and right here. That's where I kind of pinch it, give that pucker, and then you're going to be your petal. Okay. Yeah, I try to teach the newbies not bad habits. Okay. Looks like a geisha shoe. Okay, I believe you. All right, let's do it again. I'll do it a few times probably. Curl up, bring it down, and I'll show you on a piece of fabric mesh as well. Okay, triangle. You're gonna bring it over, and that's giving you that Star Trek shape. And I swing it because I'm right-handed. I use my right hand. So if you're left-handed, you probably swing it like this so you can pinch in. Okay. You're going to just slide these together, just like that, right? Push that down, bring the sides in, and pinch it where you brought the sides in. And then I just put a clothespin on it until I'm ready to put it right into the board. Now, I can put it into the board as I'm going along here, which I will do. Okay, so that is the petal. Sean, you dreamt about me? I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not. Okay, I have a piece of just fabric mesh here. This is a 10.5 by 10.5 inch piece of fabric mesh. I just want to show you how easy it is with fabric mesh as well, because fabric mesh is very pliable as well. but it won't fray as much as the poly burlap. So you don't have to heat seal it for this petal. Again, curl up. We're gonna put it into a diamond shape, bringing that top corner down to the bottom corner. And you're gonna line it up. Now it does have more flex to it because it's got the little strands of plastic and fabric in it, but it works really well still. So we got a triangle. Bring the two corners over, and there's our Star Trek symbol, right? Do the exact same press. We're going to bring these two corners together, push the center down where it puckers or where it meets up on the sides here. Just pinch it so you got that nice pucker, and then bring those sides in. Okay, and there you go with the fabric mesh. And I did do it with horizontal stripe mesh, horizontal wide stripe. It does work really well. The only thing is, horizontal wide stripe is very stiff. Okay, it is all plastic, but it's much stiffer and not as pliable. But you can do it just like we did. So bring the corner down, bring this over, make that Star Trek, bring the corners in, and this is where it's the poly burlap is a little nicer to work with because it makes a kind of a better pucker, I guess you would say. But push it down, bring the two corners in, and then there you go. You can do it with any of the mesh. Once you get the hang of making them, like I would start by using either a poly burlap or a fabric mesh until you get the hang of making a Star Trek petal. And once you got the hang of it, you can move down to, you know, the less expensive versions of the mesh, because it makes a great flower once you get the hang of it. Okay, so now what we're going to do, I'm going to start. It doesn't matter where you start. I'm going to bring this, hold the tip of her. You can bring it down. If your hand span is not very wide, you can just use your two hands and bring both of the corners up. So this is what it kind of looks like. Oh, I guess it does look like a shoe, doesn't it? Okay, we'll bring that middle and bring it close together, and then pinch it in the center. Now we're going to leave about a 2-inch tail, which is right where I've pinched. So I'm going to take my petal, I'm going to put it into this preloaded zip tie right up until the zip tie hits my fingers, and then do the zip tie up. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing to the next one. Now, once you get one in, you can just, instead of measuring and stuff like that, you can just go and put your tail in as far as the neighboring petal. Okay, it's pretty easy. The only thing is we're using not the normal holes that you would use on the small board. Yeah, this takes 32 petals, and there's 360 yards on a roll of mesh, which means you would get 10 by 10 pieces. You'd get 36 of them. So you have about 4 extra pieces, hopefully, if you got a true 360 yard roll. So you can pre-do your petals, which I've done. I have a little basket here, and I just clipped a whole bunch of them. And I will do that. We'll do that in a few minutes, so we get through this a lot faster. Okay, So you can see I'm using so it's a puckered down. And once we get all these on, we're gonna like kind of spread these open a bit. And then the next petals will sit in between these petals. I know I'm live on Instagram. Isn't that fabulous? Okay, we'll do another petal. Too much math. You need 32 petals. One roll will be enough. There you go. If you're using the small board. Now, if you're using the large board with this petal, I'm just going to tell you that it's a lot of petals. It's absolutely stunning, but it's a lot of petals and a lot of work. So be prepared. Alrighty. Any questions on the petals? I am on Instagram, I'm on YouTube, and I'm on Facebook right now. What? And I did it by myself. I just don't see the Instagram comments, everybody. So if you're commenting on Instagram, I apologize. I have to figure that out. You can trim the ends. I'm not going to bother. I will for the next row, but you can sure trim it so it's not, so you're not going to see any of that anyways. I am using, this is the small board, I'm using row 2, and I'm using the shared holes. So when you flip it over, I'm using the 2, and these are the regular holes. We're not using the regular hole. So 2, skip a space, 2, skip a space, 2, skip a space. So there's 16 on row 2, and then we're doing all the holes on row 3. Yeah, I don't think it's going to make a difference for the next row. I haven't done one of these forever, but of course my daughter's going to call me in the middle of this. Sorry, Hi, Deanna. What is the best petal to use with the ombre pattern mesh? I like to use just a normal sunflower fold, and you'll see I have YouTube tutorials on a couple flowers doing the ombre style, and I actually have a couple videos making a butterfly with the ombre 3 packs. So the sunflower petal, not the Dean Michael one, just the normal sunflower one. It lays over top of each other really well in a single layer, so you do see that ombre effect. And that's why I like to use that petal. And it's an easy petal to do. I will be doing some ombre very soon, using some of the mesh sets we have, because we have all different colors of the ombres. Oh yeah, you can do the rolled petal, absolutely. Thanks for reminding about that one. There's just so many. But it's any petal that is not going to be dense like this one, so you can see the petal that's underneath, because that's what you want, that ombre effect. Okay, we're all done that row, and I'm going to snip off all the zip tie tails. So I'm going to use my zip tie gun. This really helps with your hands. What it does is you slide the zip tie tail into this space right here. So you just kind of go sideways, right like that. And you're putting the tip of the gun thing right down on the top of the head of the zip tie, and you're going to squeeze the trigger. And what that is doing is it's tightening and cutting your zip tie tails at the same time. Yes, the orange with the red is absolutely gorgeous. Tequila Sunrise for sure. I do have a video doing that one on my YouTube channel. All right, there we go. So now we're on to the next one. And we're doing it exactly the same, except I probably will trim a little bit of the tails. And if you want, you can just go along. If you want to trim these off because they're bothering you, you can take it just like this and then trim away, okay? If it doesn't bother you, then just continue on. All right, so get my basket of petals again. Again, we're still going in at about 2 inches. It doesn't really matter where you start. Now you may, like I said, you may want to trim it off. It doesn't really matter because the sign is going to go over top. And you can see, do you see how, oh, it's gone a little too far. The petal on row 3 is going right in between these petals. And then we'll open them all up and you won't see any spaces. It's best just to get them all on there first. And then you just keep going in a either counterclockwise or clockwise manner. Don't skip all over the place. It's a little bit harder like that. I did send out a notification on my Telegram. I've been using Telegram now. I also created an event listing that I was going live. So you just want to make sure that each petal is about the same length, okay? Hello everybody. I am doing the Star Trek petal on the small board. We all know Lori doesn't really like this. The petal itself is gorgeous and it makes a beautiful flower. But like on the large board, it's a lot of work. But when you're finished, it is beautiful. See, I heat sealed this mesh and it's still fraying, but that's okay because we won't see any of that anyways because our sign is going to go right over top. Now the sign I am using is a 8-inch. 8-inch sign. We do have quite a few of them. And we'll be having a few more at the end of the week. I did make up some new vinyls, some new 6 inches signs, and some new 8-inch. Look how pretty that is. So once you got the petal down pat, there's no thinking really to make this flower. You just go in wherever there's a zip tie. Oh, you took, oh my, Judy, 104 petals? Oh, you did a huge one. With poly burlap, that would cost a fortune. You gotta really know your market too. So if you're gonna make a huge one like that, unless it's for yourself, you want to make sure somebody will buy it because the poly burlap is not cheap. And the nice thing with the boards is, I'll flip it over in a second and you'll see why A, you don't have to do any thinking, but B, look how nice and neat it is. That's all your customer will see. So you can write a little note on the back. You're going to throw a sticker of your business. So whoever buys your wreath, their friend comes over, they want one. The person that bought it can flip it over and say, this is the person I bought it from. Right? And just a little tidbit that we have brought the small board mold into the tooling area, and the tool and die maker is going to be putting 2 holes right in the center like the large board. I'm doing well, Catherine. Thank you. Hi, Dean Lewis. So you can see I didn't really cut my ends off. You can if you want, but you're not going to see anything. Looks like a big sun. Thanks, Tina Kelly. Yeah, and a lot of things that I do use is on Lori's Favorite Tools. I don't know if we still have any zip tie guns actually in our store. We do carry them. And these are the metal ones. All right, I have 2 more left. And poly burlap comes in all different colors. I don't find them very bright and vibrant like a horizontal wide stripe. Let me see if I have one. So this is the horizontal wide stripe, which is very similar to the poly burlap, and this is the poly burlap. So the wide stripe is much brighter and more vibrant than the poly burlap, but it's stiffer. However, this is double the price of this. So if you can figure out how to do this petal, and then practice with the horizontal wide stripe, you'll save yourself a bit of money. But look at this, it's beautiful. Okay, now I'm going to go around. We're just going to cut these off. And if you don't have a zip tie gun and all that stuff, you just cut it off with, if you get one of our kits, you'll get these little wire nippers in our kit. So you just go down to the head of the zip tie and snip it off. I like to kind of pull and then snip, make sure that it's tight. Or you can use just normal wire cutters or old scissors. Just don't use your good ribbon scissors. They will dull faster than you can blink. The good old zip tie is the best. All right. So now I'm just going to go around and kind of open these up just a bit. So I'm just kind of not tugging or anything, just spreading it out a little bit. And then these, the inner row 3, they just sit right beside each other. So there's really not a lot of work that has to be done on that. There we go. Now I'm going to put a center in. The nice thing about these is, like, if you could put a center for Valentine's, for instance, then change it out and put a different sign in. So you can change it out but use the same flower. So this is, like I said, an 8-inch metal sign. I think it's number 1196, I believe. It's cheetah print. It's got little gnomes on it. with holding some sunflowers, okay? We're gonna find our top. So on the outside row, you can put some green leaves if you want. I'm not going to, but you can use the outside row for some green leaves if you want. But I'm just gonna go right above the logo. There's 2 holes right here. You just put a zip tie down and back up. You can use ribbon, a nice ribbon, cheetah ribbon would have been cute to make a hanging bow. You can use wire. I just use zip ties because I always have them. They're plastic. They last, you know, they last a long time. They hold 18 pounds. And then on the back, I have a cable mount glued with E6000 to the back. And all our 8-inch signs that we personally make and the 6-inch all do come with a pipe cleaner and a cable mount. Okay, you just glue it. Now I glue mine with either E6000 or the Gorilla Super Glue, or people use Rapid Fuse. So I'll do a little bit of E6000 and a little bit of hot glue so I can, you know, put my sign on right away, and then the E6000 will dry over, you know, time, but the cable mount will stay on because of the hot glue. So we're going to put this on. Look how cute that is, right? This will be available on uniqueinthecreek.com if you don't want to make one of your own. I'm going to sell this one. So there's a sign. There's a 6.5-inch center. Now, if I was using this center, I would definitely do another 8 petals on row 4, okay, from the thing, because even though you don't see the zip ties straight on, if you look from the side, you can see these zip ties. So if you do row 4, all 8, and then put your center on, you won't see any zip ties, okay? So you need another 8, which would mean you'd have to open up another roll and use 4 more petals out of that roll. So that's still not too bad. And the same with a bling rope center. So if you're gonna, oh, that looks really pretty. That looks like Black-Eyed Susan. If you're gonna use a rhinestone center, I believe this is a 6-inch one though. Again, you'd have to use row 4, 8 more petals, and then you can attach your center like that. Boy, that one's really pretty. This is the Star Trek petal. But there's the 8-inch signs work really well. Like I said, you can mix and match. So there's all different kinds. So just pick a color out of whatever sign you have and do your wreath with that color. So this one you could actually do red, a red flower with this center. This one you could do, you know, like a lime green. The yellow is a little bit brighter than this yellow, but you could do a white. That would look really pretty. Anyways, lots of 8-inch centers. And like I said, I have a few more coming out. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I have my top right here. All I'm going to do is go down. So I'm going down the center, 1 hole on row 4 right here. And then I'm going to put the other pipe cleaner right here, and that way my sign will be right in the center. Like I said, the tool maker is putting 2 holes in the center of the small board. I don't know when they will actually be out, but it works just as well the way I just did it too. Okay. We want to make sure our top is right there. Okay. Pull it till you feel some resistance. Give it a twist. I normally use gray pipe cleaners, but this is an older sign that I didn't use yet. And then you're going to take the pipe cleaner and just go down, back down with the hole, down the hole, the 2 holes, so you keep your everything nice and neat. Right? Look at, it's beautiful. It's very easy. Like I said, slap your business card, tape it on the back, and then we'll just twist our sign. Now, if you are selling this and you don't want them to switch their sign because you want them to buy another wreath, you can then, once your sign is completely centered, you can take your glue gun, slide it under your sign, pump some glue around the inside here, and then just hold it down. And that way your sign, not only is it attached by a pipe cleaner, it's also attached with glue. So they'll have to buy another flower. But this is a really cute little flower. Keep in mind, the large board will make a massive one. This one is about, let's see what it worked out to be. It's 22 inches. 22 inches. It's cute, this sign, right? It looks brighter in the camera, but it matches the little sunflowers on the gnomes are holding perfectly. Alrighty, so 1 roll of poly burlap, an 8-inch metal sign, a small board, and 32, or actually 33, including the hanger, 33 zip ties. Okay, so you've got 16, 16, which is 32, and then 1 zip tie, 33. And that's it. A cute little flower. Super easy. All right, that's all I got for you right now. I do plan on going live again tomorrow. We're going to do a different petal and a different flower. And yeah, so check out the sign, the 8-inch signs. You could even use a 6-inch sign if you put more petals in there. We have so many coming up. They should, like I said, they should be out by the end of this week. And yeah, that's all you need. Thanks for joining me on wherever you're watching me from. And I hope you enjoyed this.